Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Amal. If you're new here, I'm a traveler and content creator. I dance my way around the world. I did a lot of content around Africa. So today I want to talk to you about Africa, and if you're a beginner, which countries to go to, my top 5 recommended countries in terms of safety, infrastructure, transportation, food, places to stay. Okay, so at number 1 we have Rwanda. Rwanda is a tiny country in East Africa, just below Uganda and just above Burundi. They call it the Switzerland of Africa, and also the land of 1,000 hills. So that gives you an idea of what sort of natural beauty to expect. It's a gorgeous country, and you've got a view everywhere, and it's the cleanest country. It's actually cleaner than some parts of Europe. Like, I'm in London right now, and I know it's not as clean as Rwanda. You would actually get chased by the police if they see you throw your chewing gum on the floor. They will follow you to your house and fine you. Rwanda is a beautiful place to start in East Africa. It's also a great way to go to Uganda and other parts of East Africa. It's very well connected. The airline Rwandair actually is one of the top African airlines that connects Rwanda to the rest of the continent and also to Nigeria. There's a direct flight. And infrastructure-wise, the roads are very good. In Kigali, the roads are very good, very clean. Again, the cleanliness here is no joke. Also, to go from A to B, so if we want to go to West Rwanda towards where the gorillas are, for example, or if you want to go do some community-based tourism, I highly recommend that, and you can watch my other video about community-based tourism in Musanze. It's a beautiful volcanic region. Anyway, I went there alone by bus, and the buses are frequent, they're very safe. I mean, the roads are very windy, so it can be a bit scary, but still, the roads generally are good. You can go ahead if you're a backpacker, or if you just want to rent a car and go with a group of friends, you can do that too. Rwanda is great. In terms of food, you've got international cuisine. Kigali has loads of different restaurants with an emphasis on the best steaks you'll have there, because they have really good cows in that part of Africa. So you have some great steak restaurants. Also, if you're vegan or vegetarian, they have amazing avocados there that fall from the trees. Loads of vegetarian options, Ethiopian restaurants. And for places to stay, again, so it can be very expensive compared to other countries because of, you know, the lack of options sometimes. Like, sometimes the hotels is like one Marriott. If you have a higher budget and if you want to stay into a nice hotel, that can be a bit more expensive. But you can find like shared house Airbnbs, couch surfing. The people are very, very nice. They're very friendly, maybe a bit shy. I felt like in Rwanda people were a bit more introverted, but very harmless. So if you stay in an Airbnb, you share a room or share an apartment, that person is actually going to be really friendly with you and tell you where to go. So that's great. Otherwise, there are some B&Bs for $20 a night, where I stayed right in the center, Kimihurura. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. Kimihurura? I think so, anyway. So that place is like a really lush, kind of posh area of Kigali. And I found a B&B there for like $20 a night, and it felt like I was staying in like Beverly Hills or something. It was really nice. So there you go, that's Rwanda. That's the top destination for many people already for the famous gorilla safari. But also, if you want to do other things, if you're a beginner and you don't know how to start, where to start, Rwanda is the perfect East African destination to start. Number two is Morocco, North Africa this time. Morocco is a very popular hit. There's many travelers who tell you about Morocco. Some people even say it's the most advanced country in Africa. It can be, but as I know, I've been to South Africa, so South Africa is also a very advanced country. But in terms of safety, North Africa wins a bit more, especially Morocco. In terms of safety and infrastructure, I would say, that's why people, when they go there, they're like, wow, you have malls here, you have amazing roads. Yes, so Morocco is advanced in terms of infrastructure. Safety, I would say, stay to the touristic, well, not too touristic, but stay to like the known Marrakesh places, Chefchaouen, Casablanca, Rabat, Agadir. Yes, very safe. If you go off-road a bit, if you go to remote places in the north, it can be a bit tricky if you're not with local guides. But in the south, even if you go remotely in the south, there's the concentration of the kindest people I've ever met are in the south. So you'll probably be very safe in the south. So yeah, those two things are good. Food, I don't think I need to talk about it much because Gordon Ramsay has even told you guys that it was voted #1 world cuisine in the world. #1 world cuisine in the world, sorry. It's the best food in the world, basically. Slightly biased because I'm Moroccan. But yeah, food is great. But not only local food. Cities like Marrakesh, Casablanca, Rabat, the major cities, have the best restaurants. Like from sushi to Thai to Italian. Again, watch another video of mine about top restaurants and things to do in Casablanca, because Casablanca has the concentration of the best restaurants I know in the country. So there you go. So a very easy, safe place to start if you're a beginner. It's not far from Europe. If you're coming from Europe, it's only 3 hours. Cheap flights. Morocco is a no-brainer for most tourists, and that's why so many people flock there. Number 3, we have Zambia. All right, between South and East Africa, we've got beautiful, beautiful Zambia. In terms of landscape, nature, many people ask me what was my favorite country when I toured for 7 months, and Zambia is definitely not the top one, but high up there. First of all, so yeah, very accessible to travelers and backpackers and people from all sorts of budgets. And if you've never been to Africa before, Zambia is a great place to start. Infrastructure-wise, there's great roads. So from Lusaka to the south of Zambia, there's a great road, and you can take public transport, which I did, from Lusaka to Livingstone. Livingstone is the door of Mosi Otunya, the Victoria Falls. I like to call it Mosi Otunya, which is the actual name of the most impressive waterfalls you'll ever see in your life. That's in Livingstone, and in Livingstone you have this great hostel where I met a friend. She's still a friend now. It's, what's it called, that hostel? 40 Towers? Yeah, 40 Towers Hostel. Great vibe there. I met some incredible people there. Very budget friendly, very safe, and transportation in and out of that hostel to the waterfalls is actually really easy. Then you can also buddy up with people who are in a car and go to other parts of Zambia, which is so beautiful. You can even go to Botswana from there, so hit another country whilst you're at it to do the Chobe National Park and to see all those, the most majestic elephants of Africa are in Chobe National Park. So you've got that. It's very beginner friendly. In terms of food, you've got Nando's. I'm from the UK, so UK people, you know about Nando's. Well, it's actually originated from that part of Africa. So you've got Mozambique peri-peri chicken that started in South Africa, and Zambia obviously has the chain Nando's. So you've got the international food if you want there, and you've also got local food, which is also perfectly fine. It caters to all tastes. Lusaka though, I didn't really find much to do, so I didn't stay there for too long. But mainly it was Livingstone. That was my highlight of Zambia, and I really highly recommend it to anyone who's thinking of going to Africa, who wants to be impressed by nature. So whether it's a safari to go see elephants or those impressive waterfalls, then definitely head to Zambia. Love Zambia, and the people are so kind. Okay, number 4 is probably a country that no one has heard of. It's a tiny little country in West Africa, so now we're going to West Africa to tell you about Benin. Benin is a small country, no one really hears about it, yet it holds so much significance and culture in terms of birth of voodoo, cultural events, people. I love Benin. Benin has actually probably the kindest people I've met in all of Africa. No offense to the rest of the nations, but literally whoever you find in Benin will want to give you their time, you know, give you their time and tell you about where they're from. I love Benin. So I did stay with my cousin over there, so I can't really tell you about accommodation, but I know there are some really nice hotels to stay in Cotonou, which is not the capital, but Cotonou is the major city of Benin. Food-wise, Côte Bar. Côte Bar. Côte Bar is a great little place in Cotonou. They have two. They have one near the airport and one on the seaside. I recommend you go to the one on the seaside. has great food, great vibe, DJ comes to play. And why Benin is so good is because no one knows about it, so it's not packed at all. The beaches are like desert beaches, they're incredible, yet they have these bohemian kind of places, they have a fisherman vibe, people are so cool there, they're like, everyone's dancing, everyone's like enjoying a cocktail. Transportation is convenient by motorbike, so they have the motorbike taxis there. It's safe because there's not that many cars, it's not that congested. So that's why I would recommend, if you're a beginner in West Africa, definitely Benin. Be careful not to cross to Nigeria because that's advanced. You don't want to go to Nigeria if you're a beginner. To Ouidah. Ouidah is the capital of voodoo, and go to the Temple of the Snakes, where the lovely guides there will explain to you what voodoo is actually about. It's not about black magic and sorcerers. It's actually about nature and baobab trees and snakes. Puts you back in history, and they talk a lot about the slave trade as well at the time, and how it actually hit me how many slaves were actually shipped from there to the Americas. It's crazy. So yeah, a very, very significant trip in Benin for me, and 100%. The one thing that makes it super beginner friendly is the fact that the people are so nice and so harmless, so you would not feel unsafe at all in Benin. So there you go. Number 5, Tanzania. Tanzania and Zanzibar. I'm going to talk about Zanzibar. Zanzibar, so we're heading back east now. Actually not far from Rwanda. There's an hour flight from Rwanda to Zanzibar, which is what I did. Zanzibar, obvious reason, the paradise beaches. Well, you should go to Zanzibar, but also if you're a beginner, you will find loads of people who come from the Middle East or from India, loads of travelers from Dubai, from Saudi, from also Europe. So everyone goes there. It's tailored to tourists. There's loads and loads of accommodation, and it's very, very safe. There's quite a few Maasai there, so that's the tribesmen of Tanzania, and they can be a bit pushy when they're trying to sell you things, but they don't mean any harm at all. So if you're sitting at a beach in Zanzibar, it can get a bit annoying to be pestered like that, but I've never felt unsafe around the Maasai. It's a very safe place. In terms of infrastructure though, it's not, so for public transport, it's not as well served as other countries like Rwanda or Morocco or Zambia, because it's a small island. So the best way to get around it is by car or private taxi. There's no motorbike taxis, so infrastructure wise it's a bit but the best way to get around actually probably be by boat. There's so many boat trips you can do around Zanzibar. It's gorgeous. Food is amazing. If you like fish, I'm a big fan of seafood. I had till today the best octopus of my life. It was in Kendwa, and it was like a melt in your mouth octopus. Incredible. So food-wise, very good, and like I said, places to stay, something for every budget. You've got one that I promoted called Safira Blue, super luxurious villa resort near Nyongwe. It's a gorgeous set of villas, you should check it out. Or also you've got backpacker hostel options. Stone Town is worth it, don't skip it, especially if you like Freddie Mercury. Go see his house in Stone Town. And yeah, you'll find something that suits you, whether you're a first-time backpacker or if you're a family or if you're a couple. Couple retreats are very, very great there. It's very romantic, and there's a lot of luxurious accommodation for that. So there you go. These are my 5 top countries if you're a beginner for Africa. Prepare to be amazed, prepare to be welcomed with the biggest open arms, prepare to be well fed, prepare to be just prepare and go. All right, thanks for watching. Hopefully you found this useful. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you'd like to know a bit more, and I'll see you for the next.